Like Bowser, I mean, we saw it when who was it? Leon beat Cosmos early on, but Lunik has said multiple times like Inkling gets destroyed.
Really?
Like this is an alarmingly bad matchup. And Gran actually has notes on his phone from Lunik, so we'll see if Gran can actually execute the game plan. Because overall, like,
oh god,
you know, Inkling does have a lot of good tools, and if you're not ready for it, you are going to get mixed up. And Duubos is obviously a very competent player.
Now, one thing, this could be a longer one. I've played Gran just in casual matches. I don't think we played bracket just yet, outside of like team stuff. Or I don't even know if we played bracket. But Gran plays really patiently, really passively.
Gran,
what is happening, girl? What's the dog doing? Okay, so Gran plays really passively.
Yeah.
So I know Duubos also kind of plays passively, so it's going to be interesting because they're both going to be playing like a pretty careful neutral, or at least as careful of a neutral as they can.
Yeah, definitely.
Might have said there.
It is a really interesting way that Gran plays, but he has been improving a ton, and so I don't know. Right now, Duubos clearly the one in the driver's seat, and kind of probably more comfortable at this time. But
Now, I'm going to have to ask Duubos why the charge from that berry. I'm assuming something to do with Bowser's weight. Maybe they're looking for a mash or something. I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just a weird interaction.
probably looking for the mash because Gran was very clearly not mashing whatsoever. I think he might be anti-mash. I forget. Dayton has a lot of opinions.
Oh, what you should do about being buried.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to mix it up. Oh, wow. The sour spot of the up smash, not going to be enough to kill. Of course, Bowser heaviest character in the game, so it is going to be a little tough for Inkling to get a kill here outside of getting another berry. Oh, but a back throw at the ledge, still not enough. Even completely fresh with a little bit of rage and all this damage on Gran.
Yeah, Gran grabs the ledge really quickly to get around that. I mean, Duubos is out of ink, and I think the thing is, like, overall, it looked like Duubos was going crazy, but this is just kind of the life of a heavy. Get comboed to 60 to 80, and then the game starts. And then you do what you want, and then you get the forward air, and somehow you take the first stock.
Yeah, Gran does not move without intention. It is always like, I'm not going to press a single button on this controller unless I get something out of it.
Exactly, and unfortunately eating an up air there. Finally, over 200%.
Yeah, that's a ton. Now, granted, Inkling can put that 200 back real quick. Heavies get comboed, of course, but Inkling, especially with the ink mechanic, can do it in like maybe 2 interactions if they do this right.
Yeah, and that was actually a really good way. Gran seems actually pretty competent at getting around Ink Grenade, if nothing else. I mean, it's a ton of splat there, but the down B at least, not really giving him a hard time.
That might be an important tool in this matchup just because, like, if Gran is so committed to playing passively, and that's something you can do relatively safely from mid-screen, that could be a problem for later.
Really good parry to up B. And buried, but nothing, right? Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's still 30-something%. That's not nothing, but not a stop.
I was going to say, but now the one Duubos is off stage. Forward air doesn't break through the flame breath. That is just such an unbelievable tool for Bowser.
It's so strong.
Very cool edge guard there, closing off the high recovery with the grenade and then picking it up with the forward air. That was just really nice.
Yeah, and then once again, Gran is just like, all right, cool, I have the lead. You come to me. I'm going to try to, you know, punish him out of shield. As you just saw, immediately going for the up B out of shield. Duubos starting to space around it. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I just realized Gran does not have it. But either way, Gran is still playing really passively. Neutral B in shield that close is really good. It is very hard to deal with that move.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is one of the most slept on moves this entire game, I think.
Honestly, Gran is doing a lot right now to like minimize damage and not get hit, but up until that forward air wasn't really like he was not getting hit, but he also wasn't hitting. Like
yeah.
And Inkling will die to a sneeze at this point.
Oh yeah, anything.
Yeah.
Throw, any aerial. Yeah, even up he had a shield would have killed there.
Oh yeah,
but
true.
But the forward airs would end up coming through. All right, way more damage.
Gran is mashing now. And
Ooh,
that
another
might
berry?
be it.
That should do it, yeah. That much charge.
Yeah. Gran thought he was doing a mix-up by not mashing when he was buried at kill percent.
Right, but let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's unpack. You're at 120. You're fully orange. You see an F smash.
Yes.
If you mash out, it will whiff.
What do you do? What do you do?
Now, I'm not in singles today. I would have mashed out. That's just me. Call me quirky.
Yeah.
But I think I would
a little silly.
I think I would have tried to mash out of that.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's like Gran heard that mix-ups were good, but he didn't hear any practical applications. So he's just like, okay, I won't. Like, he's probably not expecting me to not mash out when I'm dead.
It's like, yeah, but you know, this is like
but what does that do?
This is your 4th or 5th time buried just this first game, so like Duubos is of course looking to see what you do different because there's only, I'm either gonna mash or I'm not gonna mash. There's only the 2 options, so
yeah,
that gives Duubos a lot of room to like adapt to what you want.
And I think Gran is actually probably very happy to be here today because Dayton is running a stage list that has gotten rid of Kalos and Yoshi's Story.
Ooh, okay, Dayton.
And,
call me Dayton.
Yeah, and so, but Gran loves both of them. I think, like, on PG stats, he has, like, an 85% win rate on Kalos.
God.
It's, like, something oppressive like that, but he also likes the stage, too.
Actually, no, wait, I have played Gran in Bracket once, and the only game I lost was on Kalos.
Yeah.
It was Young Link Kalos, so he would not die.
Yeah, he loves Kalos. And this one as well, just because, I mean, in general, Bowser kills early, you know, whatnot. Duubos going deep at the edge guard doesn't quite pan out.
Gran's in a pretty good spot right now. So, again, as he's playing really patient, trying to get those flame breaths, which just does so much damage.
Yeah, that was just such an one-to-one interaction. Like, Duubos threw the grenade. Gran said, okay, I will jump over it and press my B button. Like, and it just worked so well. Like, it was so simple, but...
Really important for Duubos to cancel that jab, too, because Gran is definitely looking for another side B with that top platform, or really just in general at this percent.
Okay,
oh, that's going to be
Gran.
Yes.
Yeah, at that
Gran,
point,
you got to mix it up.
Mix it up by doing the right thing, please.
Because the first time it's like, oh, okay. But, you know, the next 3 or 4, it's like, hey, man, I think they figured it out.
I think they know that you're not going to do it.
Yeah, and one thing that, you know, separates the good from the great in this game is, you know, getting your opponent's head and figuring out what they want, playing around it.
Exactly, yeah.
But enough, you know, old people life advice for me.
Right.
Let's go ahead and get back into this.
Yeah, overall, we saw Gran.
Oh, my Lord.
Huge fat back air.
Defeat.
And, yeah, and we're seeing a lot of, like you mentioned, Gran just playing super passively. Like, okay, getting hit by that berry, but okay. Duubos kind of pressing buttons. No big punish there.
No. Wow.
Obviously, Bowser get up attack is gonna rip right through that.
I always forget how big Bowser's get up attack is.
Yes, I just found out the other day that Ridley has the biggest one in the game.
Really?
And it's so big that it can actually go through Bowser Flame Breath.
Christ.
That's a fun fact.
All right, well, we'll keep that in mind against Simon.
Yes. Yeah, you really need to. They're nuts.
Yeah, Gran is just like, I am an obstacle. Just like kind of hanging out a little bit past the ledge, just throwing those
big
flame
punch
breaths and an F tilt. They haven't been going for a lot of F tilt, so that was a good mix-up right there.
Yeah, and I think the slant there on the edge probably helps just get it into a nice spot. Yeah, it was really interesting just like how comfortable he was under platforms and just like he would just literally stand on the platform and be like, okay, Duubos, your turn. Pick something and I will respond. Like, and it worked out, honestly.
It worked.
All right, doing the music counter pick. Dayton's all about that lately.
Oh, shoot. I've only got 1 or 2 more sets, and I got to run because, as a proud weeb, I have tickets to go see the My Hero movie, so I got to get up out of here.
Nice.
But, you know, got a couple more sets with you.
Got a couple.
It's always a pleasure to commentate with you, Dream Movie.
Absolutely. I'm happy you hopped on the mic.
Yeah.
Usually when Gran commentates, there's a lot more screaming and tomfoolery, so.
No. I'm an elder now.
Yeah, exactly. It is funny arriving at a point where being the boomers of the scene.
Right.
It's like, I don't know.
Regal, distinguished.
I've been on some shit lately just so much like back in my day. Well, in Smash 4.
Back in my day.
Yeah, and it's like I need to stop, but like the kids like the stories, man.
Oh, yeah. Gather round. Let me tell you about Brawl Meta Night. Like,
yeah, I was going to say, you have some story. Okay, Bowser's
okay, he looks like an
100%
assist
yellow.
trophy.
Yeah,
What is
literally.
this?
Looks like a yellow ditto.
Yes, he's covered in cheese.
Hot nacho cheese.
All right. Oh!
Big donkeys. That was very nice from Duubos. Back air, down air.
Yeah, and that's the downfall. If you're really committed to playing just passively instead of a little bit of passive and aggressive, Duubos is like, all right, if you're not going to do anything, I'm going to, like, fully optimize this punish.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is like that's
oh, my Lord. 3 smash attacks in a row.
Gran cracking up because he knows just how he's having the time of his life right now. We've never really met someone like Gran before.
Yeah, this is
the next generation of Dayton.
In the nicest way, it definitely feels like a side character that's going to get a few rounds in.
Yeah.
You know, they'll have some lines.
Yeah.
They won't win. They'll annoy the protagonist.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Exactly.
That's what it's giving right now.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, this game 3 is pretty even, except for this conversion. That was a ton of damage from Duubos.
Yeah, that was like 50% or something.
Yeah, and that's the problem. It's just if Inkling does get in, my God, this is a character that can exploit heavies better than most, I would say, at this point, just because of the ink mechanic.
And this is so funny because, like, Duubos has no reason to approach, but Gran 9 times out of 10 isn't going to. So they're both just, like, under the platform, like, no, you do something.
Right.
You come over here.
I'm waiting. Wow, Duubos covering every option. Bomb covering low, double jump neutral air covering the high recovery. Really great work from Duubos here. Trying to yeet him with that bomb. Not going to get it just yet. And smart work, not trying to risk air dodging and, or teching and getting an air dodge. Good patience from Duubos.
All right, and now a little bit of up close scrapping there from Gran. Duubos going to work around that flame breath, and Gran's back on ledge. This sucks for Bowser.
Yeah.
But Gran, good at not getting hit, frankly. Even though he's at 185, hanging on to life and not to over 200. Love to see it.
Yeah, and you can start to see a little bit of the nerves come out, too, because that splat bomb hit his shield, and Gran still did the up B out of shield, even though it wasn't like something that Duubos did.
Yeah.
So I kind of gave Duubos a little bit more wiggle room to take that stock.
All right, Gran even still just laughing. What an interesting fellow. Okay, big Splatoon combos.
Oh, my lord, 60% with no ink.
Okay, Gran just a back air of his own.
Yeah, you see Duubos really being very careful around that flame breath, just kind of waiting it out. All right, Gran actually did not up B out of shield that time.
Yeah, there was actually a really good hold shield from Gran, but nothing really came
Oh,
of
my
it.
God. Death? Yes.
Gran literally just reaches for the handshake.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not mashing. Whatever, you got it.
They're still shaking hands.
Gran
This handshake started during the berry, I'm pretty sure.
Gran is, what a guy.
All right, well, that's going to do it for Gran. And Duubos is going to move on. Great.